Hello from Gardening at Douentza, and this video is coming to you from the south of France, where I discovered this amazing cactus and succulent nursery. Wait till you see all the different species and hybrids they have here inside. I can't wait to share it with you. Oh, and stay tuned, because in this video as well you'll get the first question in my channel competition. In we go.
Oui, alors ceux-là, oui, et l'autre version, non.
Today we're visiting together the Cactus Temple, which is this amazing nursery that I found quite by accident in the south of France when I was on holiday. Now, there's a very funny story behind how I actually got here, because I did my research. I looked on the internet and I found a nursery that I thought looked quite interesting, which was about an hour's drive away. So into the car we got and off we went, and we got to this other nursery, and it was a very big disappointment. I think I bought 2 small plants while I was there, but it was more for the sake of coming away with something rather than that I really wanted them. So we drove back to where we were staying, and just as we rounded the bend very close to the camping where we were staying, this cactus nursery flashed into view, and I was like, oh, stop the car, which is always a bit dangerous when you're driving on the wrong side of the road in a country whose roads you don't know very well. But anyway, we managed to negotiate to pull in there. My husband was very quick on the draw. I guess he's used to me. And we found this amazing cactus nursery. Now, as you can see, it had a lot of mature plants, mature specimens, but also a lot of little newly propagated ones, which were just the perfect size for slipping into my hand luggage. One thing I absolutely love about cactuses is their amazing flowers. Now, just look at this. Such a vibrant, gorgeous, deep colour. The flowers only last a short time, as we know, but when they are there, they're just wow. And in fact, the camping that we were staying at had some amazingly big opuntias right outside, and those had gorgeous yellow and orange flowers on them. It was a real treat to open up in the morning and just see them there. Just fantastic. As you can see, there were lots of pretty flowers on display here, and a vast selection of plants, very well labelled too, so and with the correct name, it's easy to Google that plant and get all the care instructions and flower pictures that you need, so you can find out what your plant is going to eventually become and how to care for it to get it there. Okay, and now it's time for the first question in my channel competition. And don't forget, I have great prizes up for grabs for anyone who can answer these 3 questions on my book, Journal of an Irish Garden. So this is really encouraging people who have bought the book and read it, and I hope that you'll enjoy the fun of taking part. So the question is, who or what was Sordibub? Who or what was Sordibub? Now, this is an easy one for anyone who's read the book, and if you know the answer, then you should send me an email with question 1 as the subject in your email and with the answer. Also, please tell me what your name is, what your YouTube channel name is, and what country you're in. So my email address is going up on the screen now, and I am looking forward to hearing from you. Also, one final thing, please don't write the answer down on the comments below this video, because it will just mean that everybody has access to the answers. And what we want, of course, is people who know the right answers to win, rather than just somebody who's copied. Okay, that was the first question. Stay tuned for question number 2 and question number 3 on following videos. Now let's get back to the chat about the Cactus Temple. I was really smitten with this gorgeous senecio, and one found its way home with me. Now, there is a notice you don't see very often, watching you to be careful of the plants biting or scratching or prickling or whatever. But we all know they do this. The displays were really nice at this nursery, and look how they've laid out this whole arrangement here. And the prices really were quite reasonable as well, especially when you got onto the little small plants. There were a whole load of these tiny little baby ones for like $1.99, absolutely nothing, and so easy to bring home in my suitcase. In fact, now you know what, I wish I'd brought home more. We've been looking mostly at the plants on display, at the plants for sale, but what we haven't looked at up until now is the propagation area and the area where they were bringing on small plants. And here it is. Look at this vast array. Now this was off limits to the public, but I was able to stick my camera just over the barrier and film. Look at all the epiphyllums hanging up there. It was like a rainforest of epiphyllums. And they had a misting system in here, which seems kind of not what cactuses generally need, but I guess it was the most efficient way to water so many tiny, tiny pots. And here we have those tiny, tiny pots I was talking about not very long ago. There were just so many different varieties. If you look in there, there are a lot of really choice plants. And of course, a couple of them popped out and popped into my basket and came home with me along the way. Really, really nice things. I had to be quite selective about what I wanted to bring. Now, I do have a general rule that I don't purchase cactuses that sting, that prickle, because, you know, life is too short and it kind of puts you off wanting to repot something if it's going to bite you in the process. So I tend not to buy prickly cactuses, but yeah, maybe just one or two. Now this was the friendliest cat in the world. Poor little thing had been in some kind of accident, or I think bitten by a dog, savaged by a dog at one stage, but it hadn't affected her attitude and she wasn't afraid of people at all. Very friendly and very willing to come up and snuggle with whoever just happened to be in the shop. We spent a good while with the poor little thing. I think she has a good life there. They seem to look after her very well, and yeah, I bet she didn't bother the plants at all, didn't damage them. Okay, so just glancing over those small succulents and cactuses again, and I wonder, looking at them here, can you guess which ones I picked out and brought home? There really was so much choice here. In fact, this is probably cheating because some of you have seen my subsequent greenhouse video and will have recognized some of the plants here that eventually turn up in the greenhouse. So yeah, it's not really a fair competition. Lots of euphorbias. These are the prickly euphorbias, which I can't say I really like. It's just a bit too much attitude as far as I'm concerned. Lots of cactuses. Yeah, lots of cactuses. In fact, you know, you had to really look hard to find something that wasn't prickly. But some of them, the symmetry in the way that the leaves and the arrangements were presented was really quite breathtaking. And this is the sea of epiphyllums all hanging up. Now, they didn't have any cultivar names, so you wouldn't know what you were buying. I think it was pretty much potluck. I didn't ask, mind you, but there were no names on the epiphyllums. But my goodness, that is some load of epiphyllums. Glancing back again at those small pots, because as I think I already mentioned, they were the most tempting for me. And look at these really cool terrariums kind of perched on the wood there. Quite a thing of art. There was absolutely no way I'd get that in my hand luggage, I can tell you. And they had air plants for sale too. Now in a second you're going to see my tray with some of the little plants that I purchased from here, so watch out for that. And just in the meantime, to remind you that I hope you will enter the competition if you know the answer to the question that I gave you halfway through this video. And if you don't, there's still time to buy my book and perhaps enter the competition. It's available for sale from lulu.com and the details are in the description box on this video. Okay, I suppose that kind of brings me close to the end of this video. Just handling some of those amazing air plants before we leave. A final glance around at the epiphyllums and a final little look at my tray of babies that came home to take up residence in my greenhouse here at Douentza. I hope you've enjoyed this video with me, and perhaps you'll check out the website of the Cactus Temple, which is also mentioned in the details of this video. I think they do mail order. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.